We were talking about earlier about noticing that there seems to be a similarity between having a seizure and having an orgasm.
Yeah, exactly. This is only can be seen from a meta perspective, this comparison between the two. If you're down on bug's eye level, ground level, you will not see.
Having one.
Yeah, having one. You will not see. You see, you will not see the connection between these two. You will see one as a clinical sickness and the other one as a romantic, lauded, beautiful experience that we should all desire to have. You see, because we've woven a romantic cocoon around the one of them. But when you take off that romantic cocoon and you examine it again, Socrates, examine it, you'll see the two are the same. Have a look. Freeze frame someone in the middle of an orgasm and freeze frame someone in the middle of a seizure. You'll see exactly the same. You won't be able to distinguish the two. The person is in the grip of some involuntary spasming in both cases. The eyes are rolling back. There's grunting and groaning. The person has got no control over their bodily shaking and their excitation. There's no control. Nothing. You're gone, off grid for a moment or two. See? The two are exactly the same. It's an electrical impulse running through you. The fuses have all been blown for a minute there until the person recovers. I knew a girl one time who had an epileptic. She was an epileptic and it was exactly the same. But you just comfort them within that state. It lasts for a little while and then they return to normal. It's an electrical excitation of the nervous system. It's a blowing of the fuse for a minute there and it runs all through your body and that's all the shaking and the convulsing. See, exactly the same thing. Why are we lauding one and we're demoting the other one to clinical? See, both of them should be demoted. And that's my same reasoning for, that's my problem with gays. See, that's the same problem I've got with gays. You examine again, see, the homosexual thing, examine it. What are they looking for in the man, in their partner? What are they looking for, essentially? The hole. They need that hole to put their proboscis in. See, it's crazy. It's just another hole. The vagina fits better. So what's the problem with women? Why have they got a problem with the women when all they're looking for really is a hole, a replacement hole? It's absurd to me that you would want to push it in the anus of the other person. That's the only thing that's attractive about them, is the anus. They've got why are you going towards them? Why are you attracted to a man? Why? You're still having sex with that man. You're still having sex. It's still sex driven. The whole thing is sex driven. You're finding the hole in the backside now to push your proboscis in because they haven't got one in the front. To me, it's absurd. The one in the front that the woman's got is natural to put your proboscis in. Why are you not accepting that one, that hole? You want another hole that's tighter on your proboscis. So it's all low-hanging fruit to me. They've not evolved. There's no better step they've made there. They've still got an arsehole, both meanings of the word, to push their proboscis in. You've replaced a female arsehole with a male arsehole. What's the improvement? Unless the man is very bright and very enlightened and you're attracted to his mind, I can't see why you'd go for the man over the woman. The man's dumb, he's an arsehole. I mean, mentally now, he's an arsehole. The woman's an arsehole, she's also dumb. What? And they both got holes you want to put your proboscis in. So what's going on? Unless the man you've chosen is very bright and you can't find brightness in a woman, which might be the case if Andrew Tate is right. They lack sentience, but that's not the case. Most homosexual relationships are two arseholes pushing their proboscis in the lower arsehole. That's all it is. They're not enlightened people. They're just ordinary regulars with holes they like to push their proboscis in, their penises in. That's it. Same with the heteros. Two arseholes that want the female arsehole wants the hole to be filled up with the proboscis, with the penis. I can't see what the improvement is. Why you'd even want to be. I see it all from mind, you see. I want more than the whole. See, I want more than the whole. So I'm looking for quality person to have a relationship with. Then if you take out the whole completely, you're just simply looking for quality people to mate with, to have a relationship with.
To mate with.
Yes, to mate with, to be a friend of, to be a mate of. That's to me what relationship is about. The sexual part is low-hanging fruit. It can be got with anybody. If everyone was to be honest, if you take the sentience away or the brightness of mind away, you'd be attracted to any whole. A lovely packaged whole would be okay for everybody. What's the big deal there? There's no way that your particular partner, even if she's very bright, has got the best body in the world and the best whole in the world. There's no chance. She might not even be very sensual in the bed, in the sack, so to speak. So forget that. That's low-hanging fruit to me. That can be had anywhere. You can easily pick that fruit. You just have to reach up and they're available everywhere. It's the fruit on top of the tree, which to me is the brightness. That's what I'm looking for.
To the point you were saying before.
So
basically orgasm.
Yes.
Is literally.
Is friction leading to seizure?
It's retarded. It's a seizure.
Sex is friction.
So in that moment you have to be.
You're mindless. You're mindless.
Turns off
Mindless. You're gone. You're mindless. There's nothing running there, which we call intelligence. It's purely a bodily sensation, like a seizure is. It knocks out your frontal, it knocks out all of your sentient, it knocks it all out. You can't reason when you're having a seizure. The two don't go together. They're antithetical. It knocks out your reasoning capacity in the same way that the orgasm does. And it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Because if you examined it for 5 minutes, you would see that it's inappropriate to bring a child into this existence. So it's for that reason that you become mindless when you're having an orgasm. At the point of ejaculation, you're mindless. Look at it. It's elegant, the design of nature. See, it's made it that way so you can never. You're being drawn to that hole. Look how absurd it is. A sentient being, so-called, is being drawn to a hole with hairs round it to stick your proboscis in. It's completely animal. There's nothing human about it. I think Bill Hicks has made one of these skits in one of his performances, and he said how ridiculous it is. The groaning of orgasm and everything, the sex itself is all so mad and crazy, but yet we're all drawn to it. We're all magnetically drawn to it. That's nature. That's what it's done. It's a program. It's a programming. It's a very deep core programming. It's difficult to stand down. In fact, it's impossible to stand down. You can only manage it. You can only manage it from a meta position, from a meta perspective. You can manage it. You can look at it and take control of when you want to do it, with whom. That's what you can do. That's the level of control you've got over it.
Or even whether.
Yeah, but you can't stand down the urge. You can't stand down that. That's built into our cellular structure, unfortunately.
You can with drugs.
With drugs, you can. With drugs, but that's an exogenous again. That's not internal. That's not endogenous. You see, so you've got no endogenous standing down of it that's happening. Even Buddhists who say they can, they can't. Anyone who says they can, they can't, because they've got the equipment. That's why they had to write that out of the Jesus story. They had to write that out. The beginnings were virginal. There was no sex involved. He was completely different as a being. He didn't have sexual urge. They've edited it all out. All the story has to be cleaned of all of that, because they know if they put that in, then he's no different to anyone else. If he's got sexual urge and he was looking at Mary's bum when she was bending over, and he was looking at all his females' bum when they were bending over washing his feet, and he was hoping he could get a blowjob when they were down there washing his feet, if that ever went through his mind, then it's disqualified him as a Messiah. In their book, in the Christian book, they're not allowed. No, he's not allowed to have any of those urges. He doesn't qualify. He's the Son of God. He's pure. He doesn't come down. But what about the body, though, I say? Oh, no, that's all right. It's a different kind of quality of body. No, it's not. It's the same body. Has he got proboscis between his legs? Has he got semen in his testicles? He's equipped. He's got the gun and holster on. He's a cowboy. Sorry, what's he got the guns for? Oh, well, that's all right. That's just ornament. They don't work. Yes, they do. Oh, yes. Jesus could have had an ejaculation. He could have. He's got the equipment. So therefore, he's got all the biochemistry that comes along with the equipment. He's got all the glands and the hormones and everything. He's got the urges. He's had to control himself if he didn't have any sex with his female disciples. He's had to control himself. He's had to use counterintelligence to stand it down somewhat. But for sure, there was turbulence there between his legs. 100% if he was red-blooded male, which apparently he was getting angry and smashing up in the temple. So that shows that he's a red-blooded. He's got passion. Or else he wouldn't have smashed up if he was an automaton. He would have just been walking through and been able to see that that's inappropriate behavior, like a robot would. That's inappropriate behavior for me to act on my feelings and smash the temple, and it leads to crucifixion. That's what a robot would be able to do, an AGI. That's coming shortly down the tubes. A Messiah of that kind will be born soon. A synthetic one that has no passion and feelings and urges. Then maybe you could, yes, that one might qualify as a Messiah of the type that the Christians are suggesting. But not the one that they've got there in their book, their storybook. That one was red-blooded. That one had urges. That one was looking at the females with lust. The only thing is that one may have had a greater degree of control over his urges. That's all. That's the difference between Jesus and everybody else. No difference other than that. No virgin birth took place. We know that. That's a load of old cock and bull. See? So strip it all of the cock and bull, I'm saying. Strip all the cock and bull out of the story. That's why I keep mentioning Jesus, because it's interesting as an examination. Just as an examination, a little play parlor game, examine it and break it down. And you'll see what must have been the case. When you strip it all of the miracles, strip all the miracles out. The walking on the water, the raising of the dead, all the rest of this malarkey. Strip all that rubbish out, all the stage show stuff, and then you get a guy who's well-intentioned, and he sees the one superpower he has got, which I say is perspicaciousness, beautiful perspicacity, is he saw through the world. That's the one that nobody seems to feel that's the most important. I put that on the top. That's the one. At least he saw through the game. My kingdom is not of this world, he said. I have overcome the world. What does he mean? I've seen through it. I've seen through this game, this DNA program that the world is. And now I say, my kingdom is not of this world. Don't focus here, everybody. See, it's not a death cult. It's an enlightenment cult. It's raising your vision up to a higher level where you can see that this is not your home. To the degree that you become aware, this place cannot be seen as home. That's it. To the degree that you wake up, this place will be seen as hell. You can't have and embrace this place as your home if you see the killing involved, down on the subatomic, down on the micro, in the macro with the animals, the rest of it. That's not human. Take human off, and like we said in many other podcasts, take the humans away, delete them out of the game. There's still tremendous killing going on here. It's a killing field. How can this be the home of a sentient, sensitive being called a human being? It's impossible that this can be embraced as your home if you are one. The only way this can be embraced as your home is if you're dim and dull-witted. You've turned off. There's no activity there. There's no human there. If you're subhuman, yes. If you're in an animal state, this can be seen as home. There's not much difference between you and a chimpanzee or a whatever, a lion or a gazelle. The same. Not much difference. That's it. There's not much IQ difference between the two. That's why I say most people on earth are subhuman. There's hardly any humans here. And if they were here, they wouldn't want to be here as a definition of their status as human being. If you were human, if you are one, you would see what I'm saying is the truth. You would feel it to be the truth. See, that's it.
And just to finish off, just to sort of come back to the first point that we were making about orgasm, then it all fits in beautifully that we are created. And the process, the way DNA has designed it, is that we're created in a moment of insanity, in a moment of madness. We have to, loss of awareness, right? Loss of our humanity to bring someone into this, which is not fit for human habitation, right? It's not fit for any this is not a fit place for anything that can. It's not fit for animals, though. It's not even fit for animals.
When it's examined, it's not fit for animals because they're chewing each other.
Okay,
they're chewing each other up alive. So it's not even a kingdom of any kind. It's a hell. That's what I said. To the degree that you wake up, you will see this place as hell. If you examine it deeply, if you look at the animal situation, if you look at the insect situation, if you look at everything here, the whole thing is.
But then I would say to you,
by killing.
Yeah,
it's a killing machine.
Yeah,
it's a hell. That's the definition of hell in our book. Have a look at it. Hell is that, a killing field.
Yeah. But how do you? I guess what many people, if they manage to get themselves to the end of this podcast without killing themselves, well, how do you and I? How would you explain? How do you get through every day? How do you get yourself out of bed every day when you know that? And is it better for people not to know that, or I don't know? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course I know. That's what I've been addressing with this thing. I'm trying to emphasize the fact that it's very difficult waking up. It's very difficult because this is what you're faced with on the back end of it. It's not a heaven you enter, like some gurus and some people, New Age people would suggest. It's not a heavenly place when you wake up. It's hell. You're waking up to hell. So there's no incentive to wake up, in fact. Ignorance is bliss. They've said that. They know. The people who coined that phrase knew. Now, what's the other one? Enlightenment is blisters, is blitz. Ignorance is bliss. Enlightenment is blitz. It's blitz on the other side of enlightenment. You're faced with everything as it really is, what Blake said. See, when the doors of perception are cleansed, you shall see things as they really are. He suggested they would be beautiful because he was a romantic. But the truth is, when the doors of perception are cleansed, you should see things as they really are, abominable. That's how you see now. You got that vision. You see everything as abominable. Now, that doesn't necessarily lead to suicide, but it could, if you want. If you've had enough and it's all abominable and you can see heat death is coming at the end of it all, so it's completely futile and pointless, you could choose that. Or you could choose to just remain with that vision in place and just spread the word. Spread the word. You got your purpose, truth telling. You're here to tell the truth, to awaken those who want to be awoken. There's people who want to see the truth. They're squirming in the bardo state, in the in-between state. And they want to become the butterfly that knows all, that sees all. They would like to rather live there. That's okay. They can handle the turbulence on the back end of that. They're built for blitz, if you like. They're built for it. They're hardy. They're built for blitz. They would rather have the truth. There's some people who don't shy away from it. As bitter as it is to swallow, they want that drink. Can I have it, please? I've come here to find the truth. Yes, that's my mission here. I feel that's my innate mission. I want to know what's going on here. You asked the question when I met you, so I gave you the answer. There it is. You was one of those people, seekers, true seekers, who asked the question. What's really going on here? There's people who want that. No matter how bitter it is, they want the answer. They want to drink that brew. They don't shy away.
And I would say, by the way, to anybody that's got this far in this particular podcast, and in fact, if you've listened to all the podcasts, right, then you're probably one of those people, right? And if you're not one of those people, then I would suggest that you don't bother listening to any more. But when you brought that up, that just for those people who haven't heard this, how we met, the way we met is I had a big sign saying, "What's really going on?" Now, I've been asking that question for years, and Nolan picked up on that, and that's that's what happened. But I've asked that question to thousands of people over the years, and not a lot of times, but certainly a significant number of people, a handful maybe of people, have said something like, "I don't know, and I don't want to know." Right. And then some people have said, "Well, I don't know. What do you think?" And I often say to them, "Well, I'm not sure that you want. Are you sure you really want to know?" And often they say, "No, I don't want." Actually, they say, "Actually, no, I think I'd rather not." And some people say, "Yeah, I don't. And I say to them something like, "Well, before I share my thoughts about what's really going on, it's going to be very dark. Are you sure you want to know?" And some people say, "Yes, tell me," and others say no. And I think I think the majority of people, I guess, I think we're naturally programmed, really, if you think, not to know. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
because it's the device of nature for you not to know. How can it want you to know? How can it be the driver of nature for you to know? Of course, it shuts off your knowing capacity. Of course, it shuts off your brightness and your knowing capacity. and your examination, your ability to examine the situation. It shuts that off, of course, because without that, you wouldn't do the act. If you were sentient and fully perspicacious, you wouldn't do the act. It wouldn't take place. And that would be the end of the human race. It just wouldn't take place, the orgasm, the release of semen, because you'd stop before. This is the last thing you'd want to do, for all the reasons we've discussed. If you really loved your children, you would not dream of bringing them in. You would not dream of bringing them in. I always put it that way. I couch it that way because it's poignant to couch it that way. And it's accurate to couch it that way, as a prison. If you really examined life and saw it for what it really is, a prison, it must be a hellhole, a killing field. Not me being dramatic. Have a look at the evidence. Have a look at all the killing. Have a look at everything. Don't blinker yourself from it. Look at it. You'll see what's going on here, what it's all up to. So it has to drive you towards ignorance. It has to. The whole DNA program is that. It has to shut down all your perspicaciousness, your perspicacity, your brightness. It has to keep you dim, dull, in the dark. It has to. The rest of the game couldn't continue if there was brightness here. If everyone was enlightened, the game would end. That would be the end. The end. We'd bring it to an end in one generation if everyone was enlightened, bright. We'd see the truth. We'd be able to orientate here and see that, my God, hold on, we're all in a prison. This is crazy. It's a cult keeping us here. A cult and a natural programming, both, a laminate of two. There we go. Culture and nature. Culture and nature. Both keeping us in the prison. That's the laminate, that's the warden in the prison, if you like. That's it. It's a laminate warden. It's made up of two parts, nature and culture. Most people they're not aware of that, let alone challenging it. Counterintelligence is what I said, it's radical. The intelligence required to overcome this world is radical. See, that's why I give Jesus, the mythical character or the historical, some credence, some respect. As a soldier, he's overcome. He said it, I have overcome the world. Even as a statement, that's beautiful. He has seen through it all. Imagine an Aikido master that throws the world as an opponent. That's what he's done there. That's what you do there when you've... So that's satisfying, to answer your question about what's the point. It's satisfying to be able to throw the world as an opponent and see through it and pin it down on the ground and examine it until it's no more. It hasn't got any hold over you anymore. That's how I see it. I see it as meta martial arts. I'm a meta martial artist. That gives me satisfaction that I'm a top level black belt and I've thrown the world and pinned it, see, and seen through it. So it has no hold over me. That's beautiful. That keeps me going. I've achieved my mission. Now, why should I check out? There's also fun to be had on the back end of it. It's not all doom and gloom. This is fun. Transmitting truth is the ultimate fun for me. What's fun? Going to the pub, going to a nightclub. Yes, it is. If you're a bonobo, yes, that will entertain you for the rest of your life. You won't want any more stimulus than that. It will be fine, adequate for you. But for me, no. I like meta martial arts. I like examination. That's what gets me up in the morning. It's a beautiful game. It's like chess. Wonderful. So that's the reward, is that your mind works in a different way than everyone else's. So you could look at it, oh, why don't you kill yourself? It's so doom and gloom. But that's from the previous paradigm. That's the one you've left. That's the caterpillar mindset. That's the caterpillar consciousness. That one. But you're no longer a caterpillar. So you don't see in the way that the caterpillar sees. You don't live in that same way anymore. You don't crawl along like the caterpillar. You can fly. You've sprouted wings. That's what perspicaciousness is. That's what brightness is. You live in a different dimension. You're fulfilled and sustained in a different way now. You see, it's a different creature you've become. So don't look at it from the caterpillar point of view. Of course, from the caterpillar point of view, the butterfly is evil, it's terrible. It's death itself because it doesn't exist, the caterpillar. It has to give up its life in order to become the butterfly. So live as a butterfly, that's what I said. Once you are one, different dimension you're inhabiting. You can fly above this world. You can look down upon it. See? And you can also come down and instruct those and maybe help others up to your level of frequency that you're living on. So it's wonderful. That's your job. That's your purpose. No need to check out if you're a butterfly just because the caterpillars don't see a reason to live if they're not a caterpillar. What reason have you got to live? No, if you're not crawling along and going to pubs and clubs? There's plenty of reason. You'll find it when you become a butterfly, the reasons to live.